What is up, guys, and welcome back to the match preview. We are here for Slavia Prague versus Arsenal in the UEFA Champions League, of course, on Tuesday evening. Going away to Czechia to take on Slavia Prague, and I've got a very, very special guest. We found a Slavia Prague fan. We got Viktor joining us today to give his insight on his club and his thoughts going into the game. Viktor, thank you so much for your time, my friends, over there in Czechia right now. How you doing today? You all good?
Thank you very much. So, Josh, first of all, thank you very much for the invite because it was quite a big surprise for me. I found your message on X and the DMs, and usually I do not go there because there is always so much spam, so I do not read it usually. Today I did it and I found this invite, so it's great that we could, like, on a short notice actually, but arrange this session. And yeah, I'm really looking forward. Unfortunately, my friend cannot be here today, but he is a big fan of Arsenal. So we already were discussing that maybe we could do some review also afterwards, after the
Yeah.
match,
Yeah.
depending on the result, of course.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, before we do get started, you can find Victor's link to the podcast that he does. All these links will be in the channel where you go and follow him, guys. Please go over there and show them some support. Thank you very much for your time today as well, Victor. But I actually wanted to start with that because we had a little conversation before we started recording this about your name, obviously, and sort of the story behind it. And if you want to start off by introducing yourself and what you do on your channel and you know your journey as a Slavia Prague fan so far, if you can.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So, I mean, like, we have started the podcast like 1 year ago. So I always say it's still quite new one, but it's a podcast of two friends. We know each, like me and my friend, we know each other for a lot of years. So, we already in the past were thinking that starting or running a podcast could be a good idea, but we didn't start it like a few years ago. And last year we decided to give it a try, and I think we both really enjoy it. I hope also the some followers and listeners enjoy it. And yeah, so we are regularly discussing like not only the matches of Slavia, but also all the information around the club, some rumors, some like transfer news and such things. So I think it's like a independent podcast of two fans of the club. So this would be in a few words. And yeah, I personally love Slavia. I follow Slavia since I was, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. Um, it wasn't really how to say, it wasn't really funny for my father because he is a fan of Sparta, which is the biggest rival of
Oh,
Slavia. But he actually gave me the choice. Like once there was a game of Slavia against Sparta, he was supporting Sparta, and he asked me, which side do you prefer, or which club do you prefer? And I was like, well, the ones with the red white shirts. And he was like, oh no, that's
oh
Slavia.
no.
But since then, it was like, it was democratic. I appreciate it. And I'm glad that I'm a fan of Slavia. Actually, sometimes it's very funny, to have like in
Mm.
the family such a situation. And of course, I wanted also to mention Joey, my friend who cannot be here today. He is a big fan of Arsenal, so we would
Amazing.
understand each other.
And he's
I don't
in
know.
Slavia as well. Slavia and
Yeah,
Arsenal.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know if I can say it here, if I'm allowed to do so, but I don't know, like 10 years ago, I went to London and I visited actually with my father a game of Tottenham against Manchester United.
Oh,
And
okay.
since then, I like follow Tottenham a lot. I wasn't like the biggest fan, but then it was funny because me and Joey, the friend, when we were discussing English football, he prefers Arsenal, and then I was always like, "Yeah, you prefer Arsenal, so I prefer Tottenham. I'm a big fan of Tottenham, of course." Yeah, but no, I will not how to say, be rude here in this podcast because I can imagine that you do not like Tottenham that much.
Oh, bro, they're like, do you know how you and Sparta are like big rivals? That's Arsenal and Tottenham as well, bro, over here
I
in
know, I
England.
know.
very,
I
very
know.
historic rivalry. We can't stand each other. Tottenham,
I
no,
know.
no. So your friend
Sorry to
Joey,
say
big up
that.
to Joey. He made the right choice supporting
Yeah.
Arsenal. Big up to him.
Okay. I will tell him. He will.
Um,
He will watch this actually.
Amazing. But yeah, obviously looking into this game in Champions League. If you want to start off by talking about Slavia current situation, you're back in the Champions League once again this season, and what have you made of your season so far, and sort of the recent couple of years? What's life been like as sort of a Slavia fan? Has it been very successful for you guys?
Yes. Like the last 10 years, I would say, are very successful because like 10 years ago, we got a new owner. It was actually some Chinese company. It was a big company, so they brought a lot of money to Slavia. And luckily, now we have like for 1.5 year, I think we have a new owner. He's from Czechia, so it's a Czech guy. He is one of the richest persons among the Czech Republic, maybe also in Europe. So this also give us some like good background that we have some much more money than we used to have in the past. So we like historically we had some issues sometimes. I don't know if you know ENIC company. It was some British
Yeah.
company that was owner of Slavia, and that
Okay.
wasn't really good. They were actually owner of Tottenham and Slavia at the same time, but they were not giving enough money to Slavia, so there were some bad situations. But back to the current situation, we have a coach, Jindřich Trpišovský, you might know his name.
Mm.
He is like progressive coach, and he's in Slavia since 8 years now. It will be 8 years. And like with him, we are collecting some trophies. Last season, also we won the Czech title, which also brought us directly to the Champions League without any qualifying rounds, which was actually something that we were celebrating a lot because we were thinking that in this situation, like going directly to the Champions League and also having a lot of money, not only from Champions League, but also from the owner, could bring some like outstanding players that will help us to play some like bigger role in the Champions League. That actually didn't happen that much as we were expecting, because also our boss, he made some interviews and he was saying that, yeah, Slavia will bring like big players and the fans will not be disappointed. Now the fans are a little bit disappointed because there were some new signings, but still the like first matches of the new season are not going well. We have already lost quite a lot of points. So from from this point of view, it's one of the worst seasons with our coach. As I mentioned, he's here for 8 years, so
Oh
one of
wow.
the worst entries to the season in 8 years. But still, we do not concede a lot of goals. We have conceded 8 goals in 13 rounds, or 14 rounds now, which sounds not that bad. But we also had seasons when we had 2 goals after 14 matches.
Mm.
So this is, of course, this one thing that our team or the whole club is focusing on, the defensive activities, that we do not concede many goals. And I think this will be something which we would like to also show you on Tuesday evening, but it will be pretty hard because, of course, when we cannot even compare the offensive players of Arsenal and
Mm.
offensive players that we have in the Czech league, of course. So yeah, but I think we have some weapons that we can show on Tuesday, but it will not be easy for
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, very interesting. Sort of. I mean, it's great to hear that you guys have been, winning the Czech titles as well. And with your manager, you said he was there. He's been at 8 years now at Slavia.
Yeah, in December it will be eight
So
years.
he must have been manager. I want to talk about the last time you played in Europa League. Bad memories for Slavia fans in the second leg, of course. The 4-0 to Arsenal. when you guys you came to the Emirates and got 1-1 draw, and you played very well against Arsenal at the Emirates in that Europa League sort of season. I think he was he
Mhm.
manager then, I presume, as well.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I mean, look, I know it's completely different team. I mean, we had Arteta there as well, but Arsenal's a completely different team compared to when we played you in Europa League. But that's obviously the last time that we did face each other was in that Europa
Mhm.
League competition, and I think it was that first half in Slavia where in Prague, sorry, where we went and we was 3-0 up in like 20 minutes against you guys or something, and we got a really early lead, and then from there you I think you guys heads dropped. How well do you sort of like remember that game?
Well, when I was today when I was like checking what matches did we play against each other, first one that I would mention would be the one in the Champions League. Like that was the first one actually.
Oh
We
yes,
lost 7-0.
I remember.
Uh,
Yeah.
it was not for the first time when we were in the Champions League, so it was like kind of the thing that we were new there, and of course also the quality was a little bit different. So that was very hard. And then when we played against each other in the Europa League, we already knew what we can expect. We also had more, I would say, more experience from the European
Mm.
League or European European Cups. So I think it or for me personally, for example, for me personally, it wasn't that hard, or I could already imagine that we can play with you, because for the first time when we were for the first time in the Champions League, it was like a completely different world. But last time when we met each other in the Europa League, we already had some experience also with our coach from the European Cups. So I would say we weren't that afraid as for the first time.
Yeah. What's obviously it's been like so far? How would you rate the Champions League sort of campaign for Slavia? Because you've had a tough one against, was it Inter you guys played a few weeks ago in the Champions League? And remind me of the other teams that you played and what's been your overall thoughts on the Champions League so far?
So we have played against, exactly as you mentioned, Inter. We lost
Yeah.
3-0 in Milan. Last match that we were playing was against um, oh shit, no, Atalanta Bergamo. I couldn't
Yes.
remember right now, but it was 0-0 in
0-0,
Bergamo.
yeah.
And those were like completely different games from our side, because when we went to Milan, uh, it seemed like we had no idea how do we want to play there. We were not playing our game at all. And in Bergamo, it was a completely different like attitude from our side. The players, like, they're much more active. Also, like, we had some chances, so at least.
Mm.
And what we cannot forgot to mention was our goalkeeper Jakub Markovic, who made like 4 to 5 like world-class saves. So he saved us 1 point there, or he earned us 1 point there. And actually, that will be an interesting question for the game against you, because we have two really good goalkeepers, and one of them was injured for some time. Then he was sick. That is the number one. His name is Jindřich Staněk. And
Okay.
when he was on the bench, or he was not able to play, Jakub Markovic was on the pitch, and he had now like 4 to 5 really perfect matches, and he also does not concede any goals. And now is a question: we don't know who will be playing on Tuesday, actually, because both of them are like really in a good form, which we cannot say about all our players in the offensive part of play, maybe. So, but
Okay.
that there we might come back to it later.
Mm.
But back to your question, if I would focus on the last game in Bergamo, uh, I think at least we showed there what we are able to play, and I think that we would like to follow up on that on Tuesday. Not really on the game in Milan, because there we were really terrible. But it's
Mm,
it's hard. Like, Inter is still one of the best teams, not only in
yes.
the current season. So
Yes. When you look into obviously the Champions League for Slavia this season, obviously with the league phase as well, it gives a big opportunity for teams to at least make the playoff round. You know, I think it's top 24 teams. Do you think that's a possibility for Slavia to make the playoffs at least?
Well, nowadays, not really, because I think that we will need to focus on our league, on the Czech league, because and this is something, as I was mentioning, that we were expecting more players who will really be immediate help for us also in the Champions League. Then, and I in the last response I forgot to mention, but the first match of Slavia was against Bude Glimt,
Yeah.
and that was 2-2 in Prague. So there we had that we were also playing quite well. That was a nice game from our side. But that was the match where we thinking, if we would like to go to the next phase, then we definitely would need 3 points from the first match, because then, of course, playing in Milan, we knew that it will be super hard to get some points there. We didn't manage to do so. Then there was this game in Bergamo. We have 1 point, so in total we have 2, and it will be super hard now to collect more points, because we are having now Arsenal, then we also have Barcelona, we have Tottenham. So maybe one game where we realistically could think of 3 points is Paphos. This is, I think, the last
Okay.
game that we will have. So still, of course, we are not giving up. But today I was also thinking of the situation, and we know that the Czech champion of the current season will again go directly to the Champions
Yes.
League next season. So that should definitely be the target number one for us. Not saying that we will play with some B squad on Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I had a quick look at your upcoming games in Champions League. You got us, and then you got Tottenham, I think, straight after Arsenal.
Yeah,
So, yeah, listen,
yeah, that's good.
if we can agree, like, we beat you on Tuesday and then you go and destroy Tottenham, then that's all good.
And then, okay, if we win all the games, then why not? But then you would have to beat us, like, I don't know, 1-0, not more.
I think you also got Barcelona in there as well, don't you? I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah, we have.
some
It's
really
again
difficult
like
games.
super hard matches. Yeah. And then we also have Athletic Bilbao. So
Bilbao, okay, as well. And then, as you said, I think
yeah.
Paphos to end it off, right?
Yep, yeah. Exactly.
So yeah. When obviously we look into Slavia's current team, some squad up obviously Arsenal's got many regular names that you may recognize. I'm sure that you're going to be watching the likes of Saka, Viktor obviously our new striker we signed. Arsenal's midfield, Declan Rice, Zubamendi's in there. Our defense as well is unbelievable. One of the best. Well, I say it's the best defense in Europe this season. We've only conceded 3 goals all season and 1 goal from open play in all competitions. So, you already know about Arsenal, but as an Arsenal fan and Arsenal fans watching this, what players should we watch out for from Slavia come Tuesday?
So, as I mentioned, like, our offensive players are not in the best form right now. So we are sometimes struggling to score goals also from big chances. So
Okay.
maybe I would say, and also it's like the more defensive players, because as I mentioned, we do not concede many goals. 3 in Milan, that was an exception, of course.
Yeah.
But we have some prospects for maybe also for the future, because I know if you know the story, but El El Hadji Malik Diouf.
Yes.
He is he is now in West Ham, but he came there from Slavia, and it was like for us a signing we were not expecting. We didn't know him much, and then he was like growing and growing. And this season we have the player. He's called Yusufa Mboji, and he also like didn't have a single game for our A team. Then he played the game against Bude Glimt, and he scored both goals on our side. So that was quite a surprise. But I don't know if he will play, because what we can see that he's very young. He is not really experienced, so he had some issues like playing or in the defensive play, which is quite a big problem playing on his position. But yeah, I'm thinking like one player I like very much to watch is Mohamed Cham. He is
Okay.
on loan in Slavia actually. I would like to get him like that we would sign him permanently, but I'm not sure if that will be the case, because his price is quite high for us, and not sure if we will for example, knowing that we will not play like the next phase of Champions League, then not sure if he will be a target for us. Yeah.
They're the main guys to watch out for then, the two you sort of mentioned. And you say your strengths more is your defensive season. You're more defensive, sort of better in terms
Well,
of
I
not
mean,
many goals.
like we are stronger in the defensive play, but like our style of play is very athletic. We are like if we can, or if we would compare the distance in every match, we have more than our opponents. We have more sprints. I think we also have like bigger amount of sprints. I already mentioned that, but like the speed is also some higher. So this is something that we rely on. But knowing the type of players you have, it will not be really easy. So we will be focusing on, or I suppose we will be focusing on a defensive play, and then we can go to some like breaks or something that we will use the speed that we can have. Yeah, but I'm thinking I don't want to forget anyone, because we have like really great players like Lukáš Provod. He's like already
Proper, yeah.
29 years old. He is experienced, but in the last matches also we didn't see him in the form we know that he is, or like he wasn't playing that well as we know that he is able to. So it will be a surprise, because as I mentioned, we have lost quite a lot of points this season also in the Czech league, even though we have I think we have 6 draws already. We are on the first position because today our rival Sparta, they lost, so
Okay.
we are back on the first place. But still we are not that how will I say, we are not that strong, or not that self-confident as we used to be in the past seasons, and that's why I have some like question marks for the Tuesday's game.
Yeah.
And maybe also based on that, the realization stuff will be picking up the players.
Yeah, for sure. What one player I saw in your squad and I wanted to ask about was I may butcher the name, the pronunciation. He's the Slovakian guy. He played very well in the Euros. Ivan.
Ivan Šranc.
Yeah, has he been doing well for Slavia? Because I watched him for Slovakia and I was really impressed with him in Euros. I wonder if he'd do well for you guys.
Yes, it's like hard to say, because in the Euros he was like, I think he had 4 goals.
Yeah,
So
yeah, played really well. Yeah.
yeah, so it was quite a surprise, because unfortunately for him, in our team he has a position, because our coach and the staff, they know that he is able to play on any position. So whenever there was some need to have some like we didn't have our wing back, so Ivan Šranc was sent to that position. Then we needed some striker. Ivan Šranc was able to play that, so he went there. And like he didn't have some stable position on the pitch, so that's why then he could sometimes be like not really that also self-confident. He didn't have enough matches in a row, for example, on the same position, which then like you need that to have the self-confidence and to give or to play the game everyone wants you to play. So and I think he already had the best seasons in our team. That nowadays, like his situation is not that, or his role is not that important as
Yes.
or as it used to be. But on the other hand, when he plays, we know that he can score the goal, and
Yeah.
we like also have some strikers where when they play, I don't want to say that that it will not be a goal from them, but they sometimes miss some chances that you would not believe that we can miss. But as I mentioned, that I don't want to forget anyone. I'm not just checking
Yeah, of course, bro. Of course.
the squad, because like I am maybe Christos Zaferis,
Okay.
22 years old midfielder from Greece. Unfortunately, he is leaving, so in the winter he will go to PAOK,
Okay.
because like he got an offer he couldn't reject money
Yeah.
wise. So we understand that, but I think he should have waited for some better offer, for example, from some like bigger club. But I can definitely imagine that. Yeah, David Moses is very young, also midfielder from Nigeria, and like his career grows like very fast. He was playing in Karviná, which is a city in the Czech Republic you probably never heard of, and you might never ever hear from Karviná again. So, but yeah, he came from there, and what was interesting that he was immediately able to play at the level of Slavia, even though he was playing in Karviná before. So yeah, there are really players. I think the game can be interesting also for the like people in England, because as you can see on the example of Tomáš Souček or
Yeah.
Malik Diouf, we are able to supply players who are really very good and maybe even better than you would expect when we speak of Czech Republic or Czechia.
Yeah, we had at Arsenal Thomas Rosicky as well, and I
Yeah,
love
he's from Sparta, so
from Sparta. Oh, he's from Sparta. He's from Sparta, but I was a big fan of him at Arsenal. He
yeah,
was
I can
a very,
imagine.
very good player, man, and that's who we had. And then yeah, as you said, you had a few for West Ham. Souček's there. You had
So foul. So.
Sufal. Yeah, Sufal was the other one who was at West Ham as well. I don't think he's there anymore. I think he may have moved on now. Sufal.
No. He's in Germany, I think.
I think he's on Germany somewhere.
Um,
Yeah, this is somewhere like that.
yeah.
So, yeah, it's going to be a very interesting game. Just quickly on the approach from Slavia, you guys are at home. Would it be a more, I'm sure there's the massive respect for Arsenal. Obviously, you know who you're coming up against. Will that be shown in the game? Do you think like a more defensive setup from Slavia against Arsenal? Would you say?
Yeah, I'm expecting that, and I think we would like to use some like fast breaks to
Okay.
to break into your defense or to surprise, and then let's see. But I think for us it will be very important not to concede a goal in a few or in the first minutes or in the first 20 minutes, and then our self-confidence. I think I'm mentioning the word a lot of times because the self-confidence is really important for our players, and on the on on the level that we can achieve, because we already know from the past seasons that we are able also to play with like the world-class clubs, which Arsenal of course is. But it will be depending. I can imagine that if we do some bad mistake in the first minute, then it could go wrong. So this will be really important for us. And yeah, then also the atmosphere in the stadium. I think this will be something you can really enjoy, because the fans of Slavia are really one of the best in Europe. I think also when there are some like tifosi or ultras videos in the internet with the rankings from all over the world. Also, Slavia is usually nowadays there, because there is this site Tribuna Sever, and this is something you can maybe also Google. You can watch some videos,
Okay.
because this is a really outstanding performance, and the team is also making use out of it. So for us, it will be really important to play the second halftime against Tribuna Sever, and if we can have that, then this will be really important. I think that this can really add some presence to our game.
Nice. Yes. Let's get into the big score prediction. How are you feeling? What's your score prediction, Victor? For me, just quickly, think it's important not to underestimate you guys, because as you said, it's at home. It's going to Prague. You know, it's an away trip. It's an early kickoff UK time as well.
Yeah.
I think 5:45 for us.
Mhm.
So, you know, we're
Yeah,
we're playing quite early on before everyone else. And as much as Champions League for Arsenal, we won 3 games in a row and 3 clean sheets as well. Like we just came off the back of destroying Atletico Madrid, which we was quite surprised about. Like we beat them 4-0. So, but going away from home, I
Mhm.
think, as you said, if you don't concede a goal early against Arsenal, if you frustrate us, and you know it could be one of those games, it may be very tight. You know, very low scoring. So I think we do beat you, but maybe a tight 2-0 to Arsenal. But what do you think as a Slavia fan?
I would wish 1 or 2-0 for us, of course, but I would go maybe 1-1.
Okay,
Because
let's
this
go.
is something that like 1 point for us would be success from such a game, of course. And I think for the Slavia fans, it would be great to be able to celebrate 1 goal against Arsenal. But I think it's like not conceding a goal, that would be like something we would need to celebrate really hard. So
Yeah, I mean,
and
think
we are still waiting for the first win in our stadium in the Champions League. So it's,
Yeah, that's true. And put it this way as well, like you could become the first Champions League team to score against Arsenal this season, man. You know, if you get
yeah,
out of the three
that
games
would be
so far,
great.
so that'd be amazing. But Victor, thank you very much, my friend, for your time. It's an absolute honor to have you on the channel today, and all the best for the rest of the season. For the Czech League as well. Hope you guys go all the way and of course win that. And hopefully we can meet again. Of course, I'm sure we do something after the game. But yeah, may the best team win for Tuesday, man, as well.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much. Thanks for inviting us or inviting me.
Of course.
I really appreciate it. I've enjoyed it a lot. And as we mentioned, we can do some review also after the game. So I'll be looking forward to do that. And yeah, um, I just hope that the game will be very nice on Tuesday. Let's see some great football. And yeah, maybe the draw would be great, and we can celebrate that. You can also celebrate that you didn't lose, and
Maybe,
let's
yes.
see, let's see.
Let's see what happens. But thank you, everyone. If you're watching this as well, make sure you smash like on the video. As I said, Victor's link to the podcast will all be in the description down below. Check them out and leave your predictions down below as well, guys. Get involved in the chat. Thank you all so much for watching this, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. As always, come on, you Gunners.